I swear to you, man, when you see stuff like this makes your stomach turn on how it mucks up the sport. Then it shows you that there is no commentary for sports anymore. That's right. There is no commentary for sports anymore. It is all filth. You said JJ was bugging. Kendrick Perkins is right, huh? What's up, doctor? Well, let's get into this. Let's see what actually the problem is. The very opening monologue, I actually didn't see it because I don't watch First Take. So I didn't see it till somebody sent me the clip. I went to go look at the clips and I said, oh man, I missed this. Now, let's see what happened and we'll go from there. I like the first thing that was said.
I want to just say something. Stephen A., I mean no offense to you, and I mean no offense to First Take, because I think this show is extremely valuable. It is an honor to be on this desk every day. It really is. But what we've just witnessed is the problem with this show, where we create narratives that do not exist in reality.
That's it. That's it. They could have stopped the show right there. That's exactly it. You create narratives that don't exist in real life. And that is the problem of the show. Let's listen to it one more time.
It is an honor to be on this desk every day. It really is. But what we've just witnessed is the problem with this show, where we create narratives that do not exist in reality.
There it is. We're creating scenarios that don't exist in reality. They weren't talking about racism. They were talking about MVP. Is Joker the runaway MVP of the NBA? That's what they were talking about. So he just broke down the problem with First Take. That's all I needed to hear. Once I heard that, I said, oh, that's all I needed to hear. Because I've been saying that forever. They keep dealing things that don't exist in reality. But everybody else is talking about the racism issue. Then the conversation went into race based on an original construct of the conversation, which is about Joker being most valuable player. But it goes into race because everybody knows that's a target button for everybody. Because that's all y'all gonna focus on. Now it becomes black and white. And now you've forgotten what the entire topic was all about, just like the doctor here. Doctor just went straight to race. He arrived, skipped over the entire point of the conversation, didn't even care about that, just went straight to race. You see how quickly he did that? He jumped straight to the race. Like, forget that. Let's get to the race. I don't care what they talking about. It got to the race, baby. Let's get to the race. I'm telling you what they talking about. Oh, I know what they were talking about. I saw it because what I did was I went ahead and, oh my God, what's going on here? Oh, they didn't put a spam on me? Hold on, let me see this. Okay. Now, here's the thing, because I researched this before. I just didn't see this clip and say, okay, well, let me just go off this clip. No, this has been going on before this clip. And they were never face to face really doing this. They both were on their separate shows. And Kendrick Perkins, it was over the weekend. They've been going back and forth over this Joker situation. And Kendrick was being torn down by the media and everybody else, not JJ Reddick, but the entire media was taking shots at Kendrick Perkins over the weekend over his comments about the Joker getting MVP. Now, we are familiar with that, right? What changed? Well, I'm going to tell you what changed, and we're going to get into it. What changed is the fact that JJ Reddick has some thoughts about his ignorance and actually brought it up. But I didn't know they had this exchange till last night when I saw it. And I said, well, it's a little too late to go live. I'll wait till in the morning to go live. And therefore, we all could discuss it. Now, with that being said, we look at everything in totality. And I can tell you right now, JJ Reddick was ready and prepped for Kendrick Perkins BS because he's been trying to look for the back door out of this conversation for the longest. Well, let me take this thing off. I don't need it because it's making the phone fall. Here we go.
What you are implying that the white voters that vote on NBA are racist. They favor white people. You just said that. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. That is exactly what you implied, Kendrick Perkins. That is exactly what you implied. Secondly, hold on.
I did not call. I stated the facts. And you're not about to sit up.
We all know what you implied the other day. We all know what you implied just now. Hold on.
I stated it's the facts. It's the facts. It's the facts.
Okay.
Now, he's not lying. Okay. Now, I heard the whole thing in its entirety. Perk's argument was that 80% of the people that vote on most valuable player is Caucasian, and 20% is other, meaning black, white, Hispanic, or whatever. I have not seen that statistic, so I cannot determine if that's 100% accurate. But let's take his number as fact. Let's take Kendrick Perkins' number as fact. Okay, now we've taken his number as fact, right? Let's look at all the most valuable player winners. Haven't 80% of them been African American? And 20% has been other? Man, those so-called people that he's applying as racist seem to give Giannis MVP, seem to give Russell Westbrook MVP, seem to give James Harden MVP, seem to give LeBron James MVP, seem to give Kevin Durant MVP. Well, damn. Why come when a white guy is winning MVP, there's a problem? Now there's no white players. When Dirk Nowitzki won the MVP, did he not deserve it? Kendrick Perkins made it about scoring. When Dirk won his MVP, did anybody contest that Dirk shouldn't have won MVP that year? So for Kendrick Perkins, it's about scoring a lot of points. That's the criteria. And he said, well, Magic Johnson was never top 10 in scoring, but that's why he cut it off at 1990. Because Magic was never top 10 in scoring. But always would win at least 3. He got like 3 MVPs. Why is that? Magic won those 3 MVPs towards the end of his career. He never won them early in his career while he was winning championships. Do you know why? Because Magic couldn't shoot the ball. After the tragic Magic incident, see, I'm going to give you the backstory to those. JJ brought up a good point. Other people have brought it up. But see, they can only tell you the stats. If you don't know because you weren't alive in that era and didn't understand what was actually happening in those eras, then you didn't know what actually transpired. Magic Johnson, after losing in the NBA Finals and he became Tragic Magic, locked himself into a gym all summer long. He worked with Mark Aguirre and Isaiah Thomas, and he worked on learning how to shoot. He was never going to let that happen again, where the Celtics hit him with zone and say, fall off of Magic, let him shoot that jump shot. And Magic they gave him that Russell Westbrook treatment, and he couldn't hit a shot. He had never been that open, and he had no one to pass the ball to. It was all on him to dribble up and take that jump shot. And he failed for the first time, royally failed. It was all on him. So, with that said and done, right? Magic the next year was hitting threes, jump shots, pull-up jump shots, and was still giving you the assists and rebounds and the wins. That's why he was up there. Now, people have always been screwed out of most valuable player. It's a senseless effing award because it don't really mean anything. Everybody would trade that award in. Every single body who won it would trade it in for finals MVP. So that award means nothing. Listen. Let me give you the gist of what's really happening here. Right? So now, Magic learns how to shoot. He becomes a more better player, a more complete player. He wins his first MVP. Then Michael Jordan wins it. Then Magic wins it 2 more times after him in 89 and 90. Let me tell you about 1990. 1990, because that was the cutoff year that Kendrick Perkins put in place. The 1990, nobody who wasn't in the top 10 is scoring 1 MVP except for Steve Nash, Dirk Nowitzki, and Joker. Carry on. Now, because he went that route, let's talk about 1990. 1990 was the year Charles Barkley was most valuable player. The whole NBA knew, all the sports writers knew, the media knew. He dominated in the All-Star game. He hit the 3 from like 30 foot out to close the All-Star game after they blew out the West. Charles Barkley was most valuable player in 1990. They were the only team that dominated the Detroit Pistons when they played them. They got Rick Mahorn that year from the Pistons, and they became thump and bump. With Johnny Dawkins and Hershey Hawkins, they had the Dawkins and Hawkins show. They won the Atlantic Division from the Knicks, who had a stranglehold on it. They finally got back to winning the division. This was Barkley's best season ever as a professional. Since he had been in the league, this was his best year as a 76er, was 1990. Everybody knew it was Barkley's year. But Charles didn't get the award. They gave it to Magic Johnson. And Michael Jordan was pissed because Michael Jordan was 3rd. And Michael was like, I'm just shocked I was 3rd. When have I ever been 3rd? He was upset. If he didn't win it, he better been 2nd. But 3rd? Michael Jordan was upset over that. You best believe that. Thanks for the super track trapped in the podcast. The MVP narrative style, his style of play in Houston made voters mad. His style of play in Houston was he's going to get a triple-double, and they were winning. And he was scoring. Like, the guy could score points. He was MVP for at least probably 3-4 years. They was giving it to everybody else. The year Russ won it, you could clearly say that was Harden's trophy as well. Russ wasn't winning games and getting MVP. Got the MVP. Because it used to be about most valuable to your team. But they gave him that for averaging a triple-double for a whole season. But you fast forward, we're going to get there. Don't worry about it. We're taking it step by step so you can know exactly what this is about. So now, they voted for Magic Johnson. Because Magic and the Los Angeles Lakers were going to the finals. They were back-to-back. They were back-to-back going to the finals. They had just been there 3 times in a row. They lost. Then they won 2. Then they were back again. So they have been to 4 straight NBA finals. Magic Johnson was the safer bet to give him most valuable player. They didn't want to give it to Charles Barkley. Why? Because David Stern didn't like him. He was not likable. He always was mean, cursing out the referees. Charles was the guy they didn't want to have it. He didn't embody what an MVP was supposed to represent, according to Stern and the rest of the NBA. He clearly won it. Clearly won it that year. And thank God for Michael Jordan and the Bulls for putting the 76ers out in the playoffs that year. I rooted for them to do it. Thank you. Thank you for getting rid of them for us so we can get rid of y'all and we can go on and win the championship. It was perfect. Y'all do all the work and get rid of all them teams that gave us problems. We'll take care of y'all and we win the championship. That was the system. Now, let's get into it. Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. So we're seeing a system of people getting screwed over. Let's move it up a little bit. Let's go to the return of Dwayne Wade. The resurgence of Dwayne Wade from the Miami Heat. This is like 2009, 2010. Y'all remember that? No, this is like early on. This is, I want to say, what is it? It was like relatively 2009. Some that time, remember Wade was out and that knee was bad? And he had that monster season. And they gave his MVP award to LeBron James. Y'all remember that? Sports writers decided not to give it to Dwayne Wade, even though it was clear Dwayne Wade was the most valuable player on both sides of the ball for the Miami Heat. That was the first year from pillar to post. D Wade was most valuable player. Clearly was. He got screwed. And he gave it to LeBron. Everybody was up in arms. But before that, there was the infamous Steve Nash MVP. Now, when Steve Nash won it the first year, did anybody complain? No. The Phoenix Suns had a great year, and Nash was responsible. I think he was the most valuable player that year, hands down. He was. Shaq felt it should have been him. A lot of people thought that should have went to Ben Wallace. But that team is more of a collective team, so Defensive Player of the Year was more fitting for Ben. But Shaq thought that should be his award. That was his MVP. Then the next season, when Kobe go off on that tear, where he was clearly Kobe was most valuable player, and that team got to the playoffs, and you saw the way Kobe was playing against them, everybody knew Kobe was the most valuable player in the NBA that season. But we all know why he did not get the award. We all know why they went with Nash and not Kobe. So why are we acting like that was a race issue more than a situation in Colorado issue? Right, so you knew why Kobe didn't get it. Like right now, do you think if Ja Morant come back this season that they would let Ja Morant go and win and hold up a NBA championship trophy? No. They're going to lower him a tier. It's going to be years before Ja Morant will be put back into that upper echelon. No matter what he does on the court. Now, we went through all of these events to bring you up to where we are now. Kendrick Perkins is saying Joker is getting it because the Joker is white. When the Joker won it the first year, a lot of people said, well, I can see why. He got the numbers. Who else were they going to give it to? It's either him or Giannis. Right? Larry Bird won it in 1986. Isaiah clearly was the best player that year. Averaged the highest total of assists of a player in NBA history. Still a record to this day. He averaged like 13.6 assists. One of his best seasons. But Larry and the Celtics beat them in the playoffs. And then Larry got the MVP award. Got his third straight. And that was his last MVP award. And people said, man, Larry didn't win it that year. That was Isaiah's year. And it put the people on notice. The Pistons were not the team they used to be. They're on the map. So when Joker won it the first year, it was either him or Giannis. Giannis already had it a couple of times. They said, well, hell, give it to the Joker. Joker earned it. Put up the numbers. Look at where he's at. Did you know that Joker's been putting up these numbers consistently for like 3-4 years in a row? And somebody thinks, well, he's stat padding. Where did that come from? The people who say that, and they don't even watch Denver play. If you watch the Joker play, Joker don't play like that. They say that because they know they support a guy who's stat pad. You will sit there and omit LeBron James as a stat padder and sit here and try to throw that on Jokic because your guy do it. If you watched a Denver game, you will see the Joker don't even give a damn about that. If that was the case, he could average a triple-double every goddamn night. He trying to win a game. That's it. He's not the most athletic. He can't jump over a quarter. But the guy can damn well play the game of basketball. It's a game of movement. He can't play with a guy when everybody's just standing still. And you wonder, it's a wonder why they're winning games? Have you watched the Denver game? Don't you see them moving around? Do you see anybody really standing still? Guys are cutting and moving. The only person that ain't moving is the person with the ball. Joker's got the ball. He's watching everybody move. Zip! You seen the type of passes he's throwing? Guys aren't saying, hey, let's get Joker a triple-double. Let's get Joker an assist here. He got 8. Let's get him 9. No, they're trying to throw that BS that other people do, like LeBron, who reads stat sheets, who there's a video of him reading a damn stat sheet to see where he's at so he can hit some damn numbers. And since they know they guy does that crap, they want to throw that on somebody else. And oh, wouldn't you know, the person that's on TV is on there because of the active bum that sit there and stat pad. So what do you know? Kendrick Perkins is in that seat because of LeBron James. Okay, now it's starting to make sense. And he know LeBron James is a stat padder, so now he gonna throw it on Joker. Well, everybody do be stat pad. No. No, not everybody do what that bum do. Last year, I felt Joel Embiid was most valuable player. And they gave it to the Joker again. I can't tell you why that happened. If you want to say, well, Joel Embiid, I don't know. You could say Joel Embiid missed some games. That cost him. He had the award, but he missed a few games. I don't know. It could have went either way to me. But when I saw the voting, I'm like, man, Joel Embiid, he could have got that. Now this year, it could possibly go to Joel Embiid. Him, Luka, well, probably not Luka now. Luka was in the league for a minute. Giannis is always going to be in contention. And the Joker. I mean, they have the best record in the NBA. Most consistent team as far as scoring, rebounds, assists. So I'm trying hard to find it being a race issue. Yes, the NBA, it's more of a business issue than a race issue. Yeah, they love to see their European players or white players in the mix. But you act like a black person don't win this damn award. Look at these people voting. 80% of them are white. It's like, yes, 80% of them. Do you know how many percent of them that were not white? It was more than that back when Magic was winning and Moses Malone. Moses Malone was winning. People forget Moses Malone won like 3 MVPs. When Moses Malone was winning, when Kareem was winning, when Bill Russell was winning MVPs, you know who was voting? It was 100%. 100% white people voting. Now we're going to sit there and say, hey, man, Bullet Bob shouldn't have won too. Why the hell they give it to Bullet Bob those 2 years? They know those Wilt trophies. Because all these white people were there. So you can't just dump it all on race. Especially when black people been winning it. So when a white guy win one year, it's like, hey, that's some bullshit. The hell this white guy doing winning? Charles Barkley went to the Phoenix Suns. First year, they go to the NBA Finals. Why? Because Charles Barkley played on the Dream Team. And not only was he the best player on the Dream Team, he also was the voice of the Dream Team. The media loved Charles Barkley. And the NBA said, oh, I figured it out. I know who Michael can play next year in the finals, because we're sitting here scratching our head. Magic's out. He just went against Drexler. Who's he going to play against? We got to get Charles to the West. Let's work on that. So the NBA went to go circumvent a team on the West that Charles Barkley could play with. It was going to be the Houston Rockets with Akeem Olajuwon, or the Phoenix Suns. And they chose the Phoenix Suns. They said the Suns got a bunch of weapons. All they need is somebody like Charles Barkley. He would fit. This is perfect system for him. Let's make the trade. The 76ers, they had Charles Barkley doing everything to force this trade. So right after that summer, he was traded. Now, what team would trade their star player after having the most unbelievable dream team experience that promotes your team? You would want Charles playing in your uniform the very next season. But no, they traded him right away. They traded him right away. Yeah, they got their new Charles Barkley, Spoon. They went and it's like, oh, we got a new Charles Barkley. Witherspoon. Well, see, the 76ers got screwed over in the draft. The 76ers had an opportunity. They were the second pick in the draft. When Orlando landed the Penny Hardaway deal, or I believe the Shaq deal, I can't think of which one. But Charles was not a man of discipline. He would get drunk, come to practice, barely practice with the team, get on the treadmill, and go out and play the game. And he was not connected with the team whatsoever. He wanted out. So the first year he goes to Phoenix, he wins the most valuable player. The NBA had to create the ultimate matchup, the two friends, Barkley and Jordan, to play against each other in the NBA Finals. They were going to run this back the next year. Then Jordan retired. So then it became the Knicks' turn. The Knicks were supposed to play against the Suns. But Mario Elie changed all of that with one shot. And they blew it. So Elijah Wan ended up going. And then the next year, the Rockets weren't supposed to go at all. The Houston Rockets were not supposed to go to the NBA Finals. The NBA was ticked off with the Rockets and the Knicks NBA Finals. It was one of the lowest rated finals ever. It was so bad. They put the O.J. Simpson Bronco chase on the screen and put the NBA game in the small screen. In live time, they were watching the Bronco chase because everybody was turning off of the NBA Finals to watch O.J. Simpson drive. Well, A.C. Cowens driving O.J. to the airport. So what came after that?
August.
What came after that? No, Perkins was 100% incorrect. What he was saying was asinine. And I can't blame ESPN for that. I blame his own stupidity for that. Because that's the escape clause. We don't look at the situation for what it is. We immediately run to race. And when you immediately run the race and then you just want to go with your narratives, you're not even thinking. If you just said 90% or 80% of the people that vote for it is white now, do you realize there was no black people eligible to vote back when black people was winning? And 80% of the people that win is African American? You sound stupid. You defeat your own argument. You defeat your own argument with making that stupid claim. Because that's what I'm saying. They run the race because they feel that's the safe card. They can just say, hey, y'all racist. And that's it. All sports is racist. So what's your point? The place you work at is racist. Kendrick? Every sports person nightmare that cut you their check, they racist. So what you gonna do? You gonna quit? They can give you a great argument on how your job that you work for is racist, or more than racist than the NBA. Well, no, but back to the Rockets, though. I'll tell you that real quick. Rockets weren't supposed to go back the next year either. David Robinson and the Spurs were supposed to go. And David Robinson and the Spurs just got humiliated. Then, that was okay. We get the defending champs to go up against the new wave, Shaq and Penny. They were blowing the Rockets out. Then Kenny Smith just started hitting all these threes. And who knew Nick Anderson was just going to have a brain freeze where he missed 4 free throws in a row and they choked game 1 and they mentally fall apart. Just from inexperience. And they lost. And that ruined everything. If the Orlando Magic win game 1, Nick Anderson hit those free throws, they're going to probably win the NBA championship. And if they win the NBA championship, oh, buddy, you want to talk about a different NBA? If Shaq wins with Orlando in 92, he don't go to the Lakers. Shaq don't go to the Lakers. Michael got to contend against Orlando every season. A powerhouse in Orlando now. That's going to be the thing. You going against the defending champ. Jordan got to go up against that every year. He got to go against that juggernaut in the East every year. Then the Lakers, what happens with Kobe Bryant? Do they even get Kobe Bryant now? Or does he get drafted and play for the Charlotte Hornets or something? It's a whole lot of things that changed. It's a lot of things that change. Right, your whole NBA picture is different just by that series alone. That would have changed the NBA. That series basically almost, I wouldn't say that series changed the NBA. It was the very next season. But it was because of what happened. Had they won that championship that year, Penny and Shaq would have worked out. They'd have found the way to make it work because they were the defending champions. It would have been different. Shaq wouldn't have left the way he did. That altered the whole NBA. Well, the NBA is going the way I've been winning all this money on the Lakers because I know y'all don't figure it out yet. I'm like, look, you got to bet with the fix, okay? The Grizzlies got jobbed last night, and it's cool. They were going to win the game even without Adams and Ja Morant. They couldn't get a call last night. And I saw that. I'm like, you going to let Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves can get that call, but these guys can't. You know what time it was. So I'm like, they got to keep the Lakers winning because they can't afford to lose. I was like, they can't lose 5 games. They 18-5 is about it for them. So in this second half, they got to go on a run. And they are what? What they like 5 out of the last 6 games they won? They got to win. These games are must-win games for them. So even without LeBron, they trying to push this team in there because LeBron wasn't supposed to get hurt. This is supposed to happen with LeBron. So if this is happening without LeBron, what's going to happen when he get back? The team's supposed to get all the way to the play-in without him. Somebody's like, Bron gonna be back in 2 weeks. I'm like, good. I want him back. I want him on the court. But this is what I'm saying. The company you work for is racist. Let that sink in. The company you work for is racist and has a lot of racism involved in it. Jemele Hill, when she had the show, the Sports Center, and they had the 6, they got pushed out due to racism. Clearly it was. And nobody cared that they were the best show. People liked their show that they had. Her and Mike turned that thing, Michael Smith. And now Michael Smith, Michael Smith looked like he's homeless. And he risked everything. Jemele is looking like $1 million. And the guy who risked everything, the black man who said, I'm going to ride with the sister. They was like, we going to create the show with you and just give you another host. He said, no, I'm not doing the show without her. A black man stood with a black woman. And what happened to him? You see where he at? My man got on some earbuds, looking homeless. And you see Jemele Hill, she got an Emmy. She got all this stuff in the back, her books and everything. She nice and balling. But Michael Smith, who stood up for the black woman, You see what happened to him. You see what he got. But both of them had to get kicked off of ESPN. And she found the woke train. And now ESPN is now woke. They kicked them off, then start saying that, well, we're supposed to talk sports. We don't talk politics. Now, that's all they talk about. Once you get the black people off, now you got all these other white people on there talking politics, and anything else goes. It's amazing. Because see, what they want to be is fake woke. They really was Trump supporters. All those people in there, they agree with Trump. Because behind the closed doors, those people they work for is racist. But Jemele Hill knew how to make it go. Jemele Hill knew how to ride the woke train. She was like, I never wanted to be on TV anyway. I just wanted to continue writing and stay in the background. Now, you see her face she on the screen every 10 seconds now. And that was only 6 years ago. So Kendrick Perkins, you would never even have that job if this was real. If LeBron James wasn't your friend and didn't say, hey, give Perk a job, you would not be hired anywhere. Who the hell would hire you? What communication skills did you have to get that job? Do you know there is racist people at your job pissed that they had to go to college all these years, take communication classes? They had to go on location and scout and standing outside in a blizzard, covering damn high school sports, interviewing the damn punter in Dubuque, Iowa, going on location, being beat writers, sitting in these damn offices with no coffee, cold donuts. And then here you come from an NBA deal where you just sat down the majority of your career, and now you just waltz up and you're on television. You get to sit in the studio. Now, I wouldn't say that's racist. I would say they saying, man, who the hell are you? I've been here all these years, and I ain't got to sit at the desk. So, Kendrick Perkins, you have been put in a privileged position and allowed to be there by a bunch of racist people that you work for. So to see you screaming about another thing is racist, you better start looking at the people who signing your check. Do you know who the president of your company is, buddy? You know where his father really is? He changed his name because his father is mob connected. From, what's his name? Canarsie, New York. Canarsie, yeah, that's what it is. Canarsie. Oh yeah, we got it on the Patreon. We explained the whole thing of who he really is and why he changed his name, because his real name is connected to the mob family. But he's the president of Basketball operation. Well, they brought flavor into the mix. Jamel Hill and Michael Smith changed television and how sports was going to be presented. It was entertainment. You know, when they did their little segments, she was Ice Cube. He was Trey. That was the funniest one they've done. To me, this was one of the funniest ones they ever did on the show. JaVale Hill as Ice Cube was hilarious. Michael Smith is Trey from Boys in the Hood. When they done this was classic. And this is what I'm talking about. Everybody enjoyed it. It had the sketch comedy, it had everything on there that you would want the sports show to be about. And they made it entertaining. They didn't make it boring. So when they did they Boys in the Hood Sports Center, that's what made it live.
Go to State in Michigan?
I don't even know how I feel about it neither, man. These games, it just go on and on. Next thing you know, people gonna try to get us to stop quoting movies.
Jamel Hill drinking a 40 on the show. See, that's back when she was real. You see, when people were real and they got us involved and we riding with them, then they sell out and go on and take the woke pill. Now everything else sound like, what? How could you say that? Because that's where her money coming from now. She looking like, I ain't got to be on TV no more. I'm fake woke. Like Chris Rock said, selective outrage. We gonna choose what we mad about. Thank y'all for the super chat. Everybody just Ja Moranting everybody's head to death. And I'm like, every day, every 10 seconds is Ja Morant, Ja Morant, Ja Morant. I'm like, damn. Y'all didn't give him this much attention when he was playing. Don't you find that strange? I did 2 videos because there's nothing really new happened out of those 2 videos. But yeah, if I was thirsty for hits and views, I'd be Ja Morant every day, right? Ja Morant, his daddy, and his daddy's friends coming up at 3. It's like, come on. Y'all doing way too much. And I'm talking about the mainstream media.
Listen.
Look, ESPN Stephen A. Smith is the face of ESPN. Okay? And they're going to keep him as the face of ESPN because he's going to do what no other person has done except for Mike Wilburn. Mike Wilburn is looking for a successor to take his spot. And they ain't going to give that spot to somebody that's on the up and up. They going to give that spot to somebody who going to sell everybody out. Right, Wilburn used to do that because he was the token. Now Stephen A. Smith is that token. They don't just pay him, he's underpaid. How much money Stephen A. would get now in the digital world era if he was to go on, create his own platform, the Stephen A. Smith Show, say what he want, how he truly felt, and put his own show together? How much money would he make? He would make way more money than what they're paying him now. And not only would he do that, he would be in control. He would be in control of when he would have more time for himself. But he's not comfortable with that. And the reason he's not comfortable with that is because he's used to being the worker. Not everybody's meant to be a boss. He's used to being a worker, and everybody else is keeping him on a plantation. So I'm sorry, Kendrick Perkins, if I don't go along with your it's race issue when you're on a plantation. Oh, the Mike and Donnie show. Well, Jamel Hill's tweet when she said Donald Trump was a white supremacist who has largely surrounded himself with other white supremacists. When she put that tweet out into the world in 2017, Jamel Hill put a target on her back. But Kendrick Perkins' problem is he equates everything to race. So if you equate everything to race as your bailout card, but you don't do any real research, you don't do any real discovery, your argument is going to fall on deaf ears. I'm not taking up for no person because they white. I'll look. I'm gonna tell you like this here. Racism is a system. It's not a people. It's a system. You be like, hey, look, he's a white guy. I can't work for a bunch of white guys. And then you work for some black guys, and then they'll do you the same way. See, racism is a system that's created of hate based on color, creed, or whatever, prejudiceness, what have you. So there's black people that's racist towards their own black people. Like, I don't want to be around those Negroes. What'd you say about that? You see, this is how they confuse you, not to focus on the actual issues. They teach you to focus on just one word, just say it's racism, that's it. You have to learn how to face issues. Is race at the center of it? It might be, but let's go through the steps. How do we get there? Is that the main issue? Or was it a business issue? Was it a whole nother issue? Why? Oh, I'm sorry. You must have got here late again, dog. I would advise you just go all the way back and say, let's focus on the issue, which we did focus on the issue. We did the whole MVP. We did all of that, dude. We've been on here an hour. So, yeah, you're a little late, bro. You might have to go back. Because your comments is like way off, but we've already covered that. So, won't hold that against you. You just probably didn't know. No, weed is what got us in this predicament. Weed has killed the black culture. It wasn't crack, it was weed. Tucson, what's up? My homie from Tucson, Pistol Black Yukon. Please, ESPN is every sports person's nightmare. They have shown you nothing but the fact that they're racist. This is a conservative news channel that's pretending to be woke. Trust me, that is exactly what that program is about. Who is the face of it? Stephen A. Smith. Why? Because he's going to go along with the agenda of the company. Anybody have a player have a problem with the company? How dare they go against the company? Those people are paying you money. Let's not forget about that. Those people are paying you good money, and you gonna you gonna act around and say that ain't enough money. What? So they keep that guy on TV because he's the same complexion as us. He look like us, but he ain't us. No way, shape, or form. He ain't us. No, Perk is saying things and not realizing Perk is himself on a plantation. What Perk said is 100% stupid. Because what he said is based on 80% of those people that vote, they Caucasian people, and only 20% are others. So they the ones that vote. 80% of the people that won MVP are African American. 20% is other. And actually, it's more than that, and less than that. It's more like a 90-10. So, and they are still controlled by white people. So you defeated your own argument of race. And most important, he ain't too bright. His reasoning is wrong, and he was wrong. Period. That's all to it. You see, you don't understand that. You just want to ride with Perk because he think someone says race, you just jump up and you just ride out there pom-pomming, and you're not even thinking about what he's actually saying. Raul's like, how is he right? I don't know. I mean, maybe this guy can explain it. He's backing him so hard. Perk been trying to dig himself out of this hole all weekend. Okay, here you go. He said he finna explain it in the chat. Let's see if you can do it, because Perk couldn't do it. Let's see if you can explain it. Go and explain it. Type it all out. See if you can get Perk out of jail. He might use what you say on the show if you actually make some sense. Well, you think about what happened to Michael Smith. Okay, he said, what'd he say? Media fatigue only apply to black people. Oh, I can explain it though. Media said they wasn't gonna vote for Giannis third MVP because of media fatigue. I don't know who said that. Giannis had a better season than Jokic, and when Jokic won his first MVP, media said they weren't gonna vote for Giannis because he got smacked by the Heat. Only Jokic and Nash won multiple MVPs and never won a chip. Hmm. Wow. So Karl Malone won a chip? That what you telling me? Karl Malone won a chip. Now you just said no multiple MVP has ever won. Or do you in a row? So it means so there's a system. It's gotta be in a row in order for that to happen. I never thought of it that way. Now that they're in a row. So if your girlfriend sucks 36 dudes, you know what? Does it matter if she did that overall or in a row? Oh my God. You see how we keep creating a whole new discussion? We just went through this whole process and explained the whole thing clearly. Michelle Tafoya, who was all of a sudden supposed to be this person who was so like, oh, she woke and all this, and as soon as she got away from sports, baby, she went full right. And they was, who is this person? This is who Michelle Tafoya always was. She was only pretending to be woke because that was her job. Oh, in real life, she wouldn't give you enough to function. Right. I try to find Michael Smith's show. Right, because that was a black man who made a decision to stand by a black woman and was punished for it. No, most people don't care. You look at that situation, most people don't seem to care. Mm-hmm. Oh, he's on Peacock now? Okay. Well, others have to make a decision on what it is that they truly want to get out of it. You look at a situation in which you're looking at bad behavior. Mm-hmm. Well, people don't really understand the gist of what it is that they do or they go up against. They have all of these different takes on things. Like they have these well, you know how I feel about Stephen A. It's no surprise. And this is why I say over and over again, these things are happening. Yeah, that's why it's happening. Because it's all in play now. Everybody see it for what it is. Most people know not to trust Stephen A. Smith, but he's not there for us. He's there for conservative white guys. Don't you know the people that quote Stephen A. Smith, what type of people they are? Who listen to him and argue in his defense? No, he's right. They're always pro company. Data toe the line. The boss is right. We all got to listen to boss. Boss can't be wrong. He paying us a check. Better keep our mouth shut. Well, he ain't gonna pay us. Look, all right, so let's get to the MVP conversation, right? I felt last year Joel Embiid should have won it. I felt Joel had the better season playing with the team that he had. He didn't get it. Cool. It was either him or Joker. Joker got it again. Cool. I didn't think Joker was going to get it again, but he got it again. So I'm like, all right, well, whatever. It is what it is. It wasn't like it was far off. Like Joker was like 10th on the list and they just picked Joker. He was either first or second. Then this year, hell, who are you going to put above him? Will I put Joel Embiid over him this year? Not really. Now, do you want to say who's the better player? Joker or Joel Embiid? Joker is 10 times the player Joel Embiid is. 10 times the basketball IQ. Can Joel Embiid run the point? He can't run the point. Joker can run the point. He can run the point. Drop passes off and give people the ball in the shot pocket. He can pass out this world. Joel Embiid can't do that. He can pull up a three, a little set shot for three. Guess what? Joker could do that too. Everything Joel Embiid could do, Joker could do. Except for Joker could do more. So let's talk about it. Player for player, he can't touch Joker. Oh, Joker don't play defense, huh? So Joker don't have any blocks. Go look up your stat line. Joker plays defense. He's not as athletic as Joel Embiid, but Joel Embiid's not really that athletic either. He's slow. His footwork ain't all that great. He's more of a jump shooter. He's more of a set shot jump shooter than he is a big man in the post. And when the game gets tight, you could body him out. He gets tired, you could body him out with forwards. Joker is all about movement, facilitation of the ball. Guys run into spots and positions, so they practice, they train. He can care less about all this bull. That's the thing, too. He's not caught up in any of these individual awards. He can care less about MVP. Did you see him promoting it on social media? Do you see Joker out there campaigning? You don't see him on no commercials. These people who are crying and complaining, they don't even watch the games. And that means you. Y'all don't watch Denver games. So y'all don't know what the hell y'all talking about. Y'all are making it about a stat because this dumbass made it about a stat. He don't watch the damn Denver Nuggets. He's talking in circles. I watch the Nuggets play, so I know how they play. No, I did not prove that he was right in my statements. He's 100% wrong. My statements, if you heard it, you would realize Perkins is 100% incorrect. No, I did not. But go ahead and express your ignorance to the rest of the chat. You have the floor to do that. Oh, Ice, you might have to rewind this back to the beginning. Casino's finna get out of here. Charge his phone. Shouts out to Kwame Brown, Bus Life. Kwame Brown, Bus Life 2.0. Welcome to HDTV. I got to get on HD's live one day. Seahawks, Jose Rodriguez, Ticket TV, The Dreamers Pro, and One Crack News. Don't forget to go to One News and see that Gilbert Arenas video. We've ethered him completely. Gil's done. He can't recover from that. We emptied the whole clip on Gil yesterday. So Gil, you done. Yeah, you. Yep, you done. He ain't got nothing to say now.